Hello and welcome back to DRFS Season 4 Round 4 Tier 2. This week we are at the Nürburgring, also known as the Green Hell. Let's go through the grid. First off, we have Cartman, who puts his car on pole for today. Alongside him starts Mickey. Then in third place we have MJR Mercer. In fourth we have Trout. In fifth we have Ivano. In sixth we have Bullet. In seventh we got Speed. And in eighth we got Nightmare. Around the corner we go. As we see Dowlers in 9th position. In 10th we have Demaisha. In 11th we have Munro. In 12th we have JSR. 13th is Rocker. 14th is Lairs Drums. And last but not least, we have AGT Gridlock. That's your grid for today. Let's watch the race. We are looking at Cartman, who is on pole for round 4 of DRFS. And they're off. Cartman gets a good reaction. And Mickey follows him to turn 1. Behind. All seems to get along cleanly. No casualties so far. Although Lairs seems to be a bit far behind. But back at the front we have Trout, who is who has a slight gap to MJR Mercer in front. Meanwhile, Ivano behind him is really eager to get past, but who knows, we will see. Cartman has pulled a comfortable gap to Mickey behind after getting away from the starting line very well. Then we have MJR Mercer with Trout and Ivano. Then we have a good train of cars with Bullet in front, then followed by Speed, Nightmare and Dowlers. Is Dowlers going to look up the inside? No, he is not. Then we have Munro with Damisha going a bit too hot and going onto the grass. Can he keep it on the road? Yes, but will he succeed? He spins, hits the barrier, but keeps on going. He is lucky to get away with that amount of with losing control, but still keeping it on the road. As you see Munro getting a bit unstable after going over the curbs. That means that Dowlers has a big gap behind him. Although don't put it on the grass too much, you will lose heaps of time. Now, Nightmare. Looking at the back of Bullet. Although Nightmare gets a bit unsettled. Nothing much, but when you all add it up together, it's whoa, as he goes onto the grass and slightly tapping the barrier, which led to him losing the position to Dowlers. And now his chances of overtaking Bullet are has decreased significantly. Ivano has passed Trout for 4th place, and MJ Mercer is a bit falling back from Mickey and Cartman, who has pulled a good lead. Wow, only there was Mickey. Then we have MJ Mercer, who is also quite far back. Ivano seems to be driving well, as we might see Speed overtaking Trout around the outside and now the inside for the next corner. Good move there from Speed. We have so far this season we have seen Speed doing all sorts of overtaking around the outside of people. Maybe that's the new way of racing. Don't go down the inside, but go around the outside. As we go into the carousel, the first one of the two. Side by side, they're racing. You can't do that really here. Luckily, no casualties for now, but we will have to see. It's the Green Hell, as it suggests, is a very tricky circuit to get that right, and we will see a couple of drivers making a mistake, like Ivano did, going wide. That could cost you quite some time, especially when you are following somebody you want to overtake. Now, going through the fast zigzaggy part of the circuit goes Cartman. He has pulled away quite massively from Mickey behind. Then we have MJ Mercer with Speed and Ivano on his tail, followed by Trout. Then a big gap to Dowlers in 7th place. Meanwhile, Bullet must have made a mistake, because he's now behind Nightmare, who made a mistake earlier. Then we have Rocker, Munro and Damisha following Munro closely. Then we have Grimlock, who has got a penalty. He must have hit the wall or something. Let's see. Oh, just scraping the wall slightly. And that's a weird penalty, to say the least. Oh, and Lars was into the wall as well. What happened to him? Just gets on the inside a bit too much. Oh, and spins it into the wall. Oh, and he has damage. Oh, that's probably a race over for him. As we go back to the front, where Cartman is on the main straight. Mickey has caught up to him quite massively, I have to say. Then we have Mercer, Speed and Ivano and Trout. This is gonna look very tasty if they now they are going on the back straight. Let's see who will come out in front. Are they going to bump draft? Speed pulls out to the right side, as well as Ivano. Ivano goes even more to the right of Speed. It was 3 wide at the moment. Ivano is now in front of the back, but there comes Speed. Is he going to look for the move? No, he is not. Although you have to get your braking point dead right, the braking zone, otherwise you will fly off into the distance or into the back of one of your competitors. But after lap 1, it's Cartman with Mickey behind him, then Ivano, Speed, MJ Mercer and Trout, who have been following each other very closely around the first lap. Then we have Nightmare and Dowlers. Nightmare meanwhile has passed Dowlers, as we see some laggy business going on. Then we have Bullet, followed by Rocker in 10th place. Damisha, Munro, I just thought for a second he went wide. Munro getting onto the grass, keeps it out of the barriers luckily. Then we have Grimlock and Lairs Drums. Speed is a bit far back. He made a mistake or something, I suppose. What happened? Let's have a look. He was following Ivano, maybe looking for the move. Gets a bit unstable and just loses it. Thankfully no damage done, but he's now down into 6th place instead of 4th. So that explains that. And meanwhile, Dowlers has overtaken Nightmare again. It's a bit of ping-ponging between the two, and Bullet has now closed up to Nightmare, presumably after Nightmare made a mistake. Then comes Rocker, who's on his own for so far in the race, I believe. Then we have Demisha and Munro, with AGT Grimlock following Munro, hoping that Munro will make a mistake so Grimlock can get a position. And last but not least, we have Lairs. Ivano is pulling away slightly from MJ Mercer behind. But with one mistake, as I said earlier, one mistake can cost you the race around this place. Like this mistake, maybe, who knows? No, he's far ahead from MJ Mercer to make a mistake, but it has led to closing let MJ Mercer close in. But Ivano has got a 1.5 second penalty, probably after the tap with the barrier. That's unfortunate. Speed has overtaken Trout meanwhile for 5th position. The gap is quite big, so I suppose Trout made a mistake. I'm not sure, it's really hard to keep track of all the positions gained and lost. One position I do know that has been lost is 8th place for Nightmare, who is now in 9th after Bullet overtook him. I don't know where, I don't know how, but seeing how slidey Nightmare is, wow, that's gonna be the thumbnail of this video. I don't think it's that difficult to overtake Nightmare, although he's a good racer, I have to say. In 10th we have still Rocker, who is cruising on his own right now, and Demisha the same for him as well. Oh, as we see Grimlock making a mistake and going into the barrier. He has got damage now, that sucks. Well, halfway through the lap, not even halfway I have to say. It's a long way back home. Maybe Munro can get something out of it. Although Munro is down in 13th position and is 11 seconds up on his previous best. Was which was the first lap. So I assume he made a mistake of some sort because he was, I think, in P11 in front of the Misha. So something has happened. I don't know what. So we'll have to see. Cartman now has pulled away massively from Mickey behind. Cartman in a league of his own. Going through the final real corners of the circuit. Long left-hander, then a long right-hander, which leads onto the big main straight. Ivano has a penalty, but more importantly has taken second place after Mickey must have made a mistake. What happened? Let's have a look with his onboard. Just gets on the grass slightly and spins about halfway until he wants to get back on the track. Puts down a bit too much power and spins again. That explains why he is in fourth position right now. Now we have Trout, who's on his own, and Mercer. Mercer is in sixth position. He also must have made a mistake of some sort, because he was following Ivano closely. It's all kicking off at a circuit. Rooker now in ninth place after Nightmare made a mistake. Oh. As we see Cartman almost done with the second lap of the race. We're almost halfway through the race. So I assume it's gonna be 5 laps for him. Will he manage to make it on tires and on fuel? I think so. I don't think it's worth to pit. Although I say that, and Ivano comes in for his pit stop. Interesting choice. And Speed is facing the wrong way. Oh. Just got in a bit too hot and spun round. Mickey is pulling into the pits as well. Speed not having the best of times. He also missed a pit entry now. I don't know if he meant to do that. But you can see on the left hand side of your screen, Trout has got much more fuel on board than Mickey, for instance. See, 10% more fuel. How did that happen? I don't know. Probably short shifting, maybe another fuel mix. Who knows? Now we are having a bit of a deja vu moment. Ivano in fourth, chasing down after MJR Mercer in third place. If he is going around the inside, I was gonna say, no. He goes down the inside of MJR Mercer to take the podium spot in third place. Dowlers is on the medium tire. Interesting strategy. You can stretch it a long way and seeing how far he is on fuel. I think he's going for a no stopper. Even after the pit stop, Mickey has less fuel than Dowlers has. Interesting. As we see, Munro made a little mistake at the last chicane. At the end of the lap, even with damage, he's continuing. Interesting choice. Looking at the gap Cartman has pulled from the guys behind, I assume he's gonna go in at the end of this lap, seeing that all the others did it as well, except for Speed and a couple of other guys. Meanwhile, Speed is going through the standings. He went up from 4th position to 2nd in a matter of seconds, I suppose. Mickey having a 1.4 second penalty, probably after colliding with a barrier. No damage, as far as I can see. But maybe he has a bit of dirty tires, who knows. Oh, and Dowders has made a mistake. And he picked up damage as well. What happened to him? Going through that fast section, getting a bit wide and just spinning out. Oh no. That sucks. Oh no. Luckily he didn't pit because he's on the medium tire, so probably going for a no stop, but this might throw a spanner into his works. I don't know if that's correct what I'm saying. I hope it does. I hope it is. Please correct me in the comments if I'm saying something wrong. I really want to improve my English. So yeah. As we see Trout and Mickey going side by side, although Mickey gets on the grass and he doesn't get a great exit. That has meant that Bullet can overtake him. Now as well, Rocker is going to be a bit pushed wide. What happened to Mickey? There's a sudden movement to the right. Here comes Rocker. Gets pushed. What happened there? That's one strange accident if I haven't seen one. Luckily, thankfully Rocker pulls over to wait for him. That's what we do in the drive-through. If you made a mistake or force somebody off, you wait till that other guy catches up, passes you, to make for fair racing. Back into the fight for second place. We have Speed in second, who's been chased down by Ivano on fresh tires, on the mediums as well. So probably feeling not too happy with the soft tires dying off. Oh, as Speed goes hard into the wall, very hard into the wall. He picked up damage as well. Let's see. Oh, gets a bit sketchy on the exit and nothing he could have done to counter it. This means that MJR Mercer is now as well in the podium positions. Cartman meanwhile is still very much in the lead of the race with plenty of fuel left. So if he's gonna pit, he's gonna probably pit for the super softs and no refueling. That should mean he's comfortably that he's still comfortably ahead of the other guys. So I think Cartman has this one in the bag. Starting on pole and just drove away after the lights went out. Is he going to pull up into the pit? Yes, he is. Now Ivano comes onto the main straight. Somewhat behind is MJ Mercer, who doesn't get a great exit. Now he's on the threat of speed. Oh. Side by side they go down the main straight. Who is gonna get out on top? It seems that Speed has a bit more speed, but maybe MJ Mercer lifts off to knowing that Speed still needs to make a pit stop if he wants to. Or maybe MJ Mercer's fuel saving a bit. Who knows? MJ Mercer is into the pits. And Speed made a mistake of some sort. As there was a yellow flag. Was it Ivano? No, it wasn't. But again gets a bit sketchy on the exit. And almost gets himself stuck on the pit entry. That's Speed isn't a great fan of that last corner, if I can tell you that much. After the pit stop, Cartman is still miles ahead of Ivano is a second. Ivano has plenty of fuel. I don't know if you notice it, but he is about 2/3 of the way there, setting a purple first sector. Although that doesn't say much, given the fact how long this track is. 7 minutes long. A bit less. As Trout is now in 3rd place, but he might not be for long after if he makes more of these kinds of mistakes. But MJ Mercer and Speed are catching up quickly to Trout, who is on a bit more worn tires. And Speed and MJ Mercer are both on the super softs, while Trout is on the softs. Then we have Nightmare in 6th place. Well, fought back, I believe it is. From Nightmare, who was in 10th place at the moment. After he had some mistakes. Bullet in 7th, Mickey down in 8th place. It hasn't been going well for him after, what was it? His lap 3 incident. Maybe it even was on lap 2. After he was in 2nd place, but made a mistake and saw him tumbling down the order after another mistake. Then in 9th we have Rocker with intense dowlers. At the back of the pack it is still Lars, Munro and Damisha. Although somebody has left, it was Grimlock who has quit the race at some point. Probably not too happy after probably a spin or crash, who knows. You can just see how much Cartman, how much quicker he is. He's about a sector ahead of the number 2, who is Ivano, who isn't a slow driver, must be said. But on this track with this combo, it's just Cartman who is the king. Trout has managed to pull away slightly from MJ Mercer, and Speed must have made a mistake because he's now a bit further back from MJ Mercer than before. Nightmare going there a bit off track, but he should be fine because Bullet isn't that closely behind him. Who is close behind Bullet is Mickey, who is now on the soft tires, and while Bullet is on the super softs, but with a bit less fuel. So maybe Mickey might be able to overtake him, although I think that Rocker, maybe Dowdis who has got some damage after he pitted. That Dowdis is gonna do 4 laps instead of the 5 laps the rest is going to do. Damisha with a 1.3 second penalty, probably after hitting a wall or cutting a corner, who knows. Although I don't think it's very easy to cut a corner around this place, because, yeah, barriers and the tightness of the circuit. Cartman now again on the main straight. He's just on fire today. As Ivano has spun around. What happened there? Going through the fast section just before the long left and long right hander. Goes a bit too deep, loses the back end and spins round. Luckily no damage and no competitors in close proximity. So no big harm done there. Trout is the next up on the list in 3rd place, with Mercer and Speed still following closely. Speed now catching up to Mercer again. So Speed is indeed faster than Mercer and maybe Trout as well. Nightmare in 6th. Mickey has gone past Bullet to get up into 7th position. Then Dowders with still who has damage at the front bumper in 10th place. Then we have Damisha, who still needs to get rid of his penalty, in 11th. Then we have Munro in 12th and Lairs in 13th place. On to the main straight. Speed has got some speed because he's now past Trout and MJ Mercer. Let's have a look at that. Just before the final 2 corners, Speed goes around the outside again. Wow, around the outside of the 2nd carousel. Good move there, but... And now with the exit speed and the slipstream from Trout, who hasn't got slipstream himself, it is an easy job to get past him there. Building up speed, and there you go. Flying past. Don't skip forward too much, because Trout is come back at him and has retaken 3rd place. You need to be careful not to make a move too early or defend it better, otherwise because this straight is so long, you can easily regain the speed and fight back. So last lap for these guys. Cartman has pulled an even bigger gap, setting a purple sector by 2 seconds. He is on fire for this lap. His previous lap, that was his out lap, was even quicker than the personal best he already had. Oh, a big lag, but this... Oh, it was lag. I was gonna say this isn't lag, but it was. Bit of funky business going on, but for the drivers themselves it isn't this disturbing, because they see what they can see on the monitor, and we can see what the game thinks they were doing, and it isn't always right. 2.7 seconds up on his previous best, what is the fastest lap of the race entirely. Ivano now. No threats from behind and no opportunity to overtake the guy in front. It is the final lap now. The only guys who are gonna finish on their 4th lap are Demisha, Munro and Lairs. Or I might be wrong and they are going to do 5 laps in total. I don't drive myself in this series, so I have no clue what the rules are, and no, they are finishing, so it is still what I thought it was, half an hour race. Ivano getting it wrong again. Luckily no damage, but you don't want to do that. You don't want to make more mistakes much again, because eventually Speed is gonna catch up. Speed, who's now in 3rd place after overtaking Trout, probably around the outside, as what is Speed's signature move. Mercer maybe looking for 4th place right now, if he can drive cleanly and catch up to Trout. Maybe he can overtake him on the big straight. Then we have Mickey in 6th place. Where has Nightmare gone? Nightmare's down into 10th place. Following Rocker closely, but while making that sort of mistakes you won't be getting far. As we see, half a second up on his previous best, which was his previous lap. So made a mistake in the first quarter of the lap. That has cost him big time, dropping from 6th to 9th place. Speed is now pulling away from Trout behind. Let's ride on board for a moment with MJ Mercer, seeing if he can catch up to Trout. I believe these cars are the Honda NSX Group 3 cars. And they are quite good, I believe. Otherwise they wouldn't have chosen it for the season car. You can also see with this onboard how bumpy the circuit is. You might think, well, racing circuits must be pretty flat. No, this one isn't. As we see that MJ Mercer is indeed closing onto Trout. Getting a bit of air there. That's fine. Cartman has finished the race already in first place. Well done there, bud. Stellar drive. Then Ivano in second place, going on to the main straight, but you can just see how much speed has gained from Ivano. Maybe Ivano has made another mistake as well. Unless Ivano cocks up the final sector, he is true for second place. As we can see in the distance, Speed, Trout and MJR Mercer still battling it out. Let's go and watch their perspectives. Let's go on board with Trout. 270 kilometers an hour down the straight. Is Mercer close enough? I don't think so. No, he isn't. That's strange. The top speed of Trout is way higher than that one of Mercer. It could have to do with the setups, because in DRFS you can tune your car. But now we see Trout rounding the final corner to take P4 just shy of MJR Mercer, just in front of him. But Mercer takes a P5, which is a very good result. Now we have Mickey coming around the final corner and to finish P6. Unfortunately for him, after starting the race in P2, just after a couple of mistakes, falling down the order. Unfortunate. Now we have Bullet in P7. Well done there, but very clean race from you. As we skip Rocker, to see if Nightmare might be able to catch up to Dowlers. I don't think so, seeing the state of his tires. Mamma mia. They are shredded. Dowlers keep it clean, no mistakes. I don't think he will make a mistake. And he won't. As Dowlers comes home in P9 with Nightmare in P10. That was it for the race. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like, subscribe and comment what your best moment was of this race. See you soon for DRFS.